So you can't solve life. What do I mean by this? If you're anything like me, you may have one day thought that there will come a day after you work really hard and after you do a lot with your life, that there will come a day where you'll have solved all your problems, or you'll have solved most of them, and there won't be any more left, right? And I'm here to tell you basically that that day will never come. And that's actually the best news ever, and why it's the best news ever. So some of this stuff might seem really obvious. If you're already there, if you've already read the same book as me, you'll know exactly where I'm coming from. But your problems never go away completely. Basically, plain and simple, they'll only ever change and adapt and evolve and get better ultimately, but they never go away, right? Right now, if you're broke, once you solve your problem of being broke, you'll have another money problem to deal with, right? And once you deal with that problem, right, presumably by making more money or doing whatever, you'll have another money problem that you'll have to sort out because you'll probably be doing something with money. That's just one example, right? The problems don't disappear. They literally just get better. They just get better or they change. And you should just want to keep solving them. You should never want to live a life where you don't have to solve them, because that's the whole point of this game. The point of the game isn't to stop playing. The point is to just keep playing, keep doing something, right? And it sounds so stupid and obvious, but some people really need to hear this. I needed to hear this, all right? So I'm sharing it with you now. You didn't go to the gym, for example, expecting to never have to lift weights again, right? The good part about the gym is a perfect example for this. The weights don't fucking ever disappear. They only ever get bigger and bigger, right? But you just get stronger and stronger at lifting those weights, right? So you might not be able to bench press 100 kilos right now. If you can bench press like 50, 60, 70, whatever, right? But the problem of bench pressing doesn't disappear as long as you keep coming to the gym and playing that game. That problem will be the same. You just need to push the bar up and get a little bit stronger every time. So ultimately what's happening is your problems don't go away. You're just getting better at dealing with them, and you have new problems to come in to basically test your skill. It's literally like that. It's like a game, man. So, you never go to the gym expecting to never lift weights again. You just go to the gym expecting to keep going and keep progressing. And that's the whole thing with any problem in life. It will just keep getting better, basically. But you'll just be getting better as well. So the problems are evolving at the same time as you are. The more you tick them off and solve them, there'll just be a new one for the new version of you after solving that to do. And your happiness doesn't come from having all of these problems solved, right? It comes from actually doing them and solving them, right? Your happiness comes from training to get to 100 kg bench press, right? That whole arc that you go all the time, and train and do all this shit and eat properly, that's the good part. That's where your happiness is coming from. And every time you have a milestone going up to 100, that's the part that's making you happy. Once you do 100, sure, you'll be happy for a little bit, right? But all you'll really care about is when you can do 120, 150, right? And you hear this all the time. It's like after people will accomplish something great or make so much money or something like that, and they don't really feel much greater than they already did, right? Because the happiness doesn't come from the sudden disappearance of a thing to do. Because you're not really going to be happy when you don't have anything to do anymore. You're just going to want another thing to do to make you happy, because it's the doing that makes you happy, right? This seems like really obvious to some of you, but some of you may really, really, really need to hear this. So I'm saying it anyways. So it's like I was saying earlier, doing the work itself was the good part. Like when I started out in the gym, it was honestly not like the milestones or anything or the appearance or anything. The fun part was when I went every fucking evening, walked like half an hour to the gym, trained for like an hour and a half or whatever, and then walked back every day during winter, during summer, whatever it was. Like I literally did that every day of the week, with like obviously including rest days here and there. But the point is, I think back to the time I was doing the training that was so happy, not the times that I managed to lift a load of weight as like a milestone, or I did a massive deadlift or whatever. It was the process. It's the grind that makes you happy, right? Not the actual problem at the end. So if you've got money problems, it's like the journey to solve them, to like start a business or start some sort of venture or whatever. That's gonna be the thing that you want. And once you get to that milestone, you're no longer broke. You're just gonna want another thing to work on. So your problems will never disappear. That's the point of this. I'm not here to give advice about the gym or about money, right? I'm neither good at either of those things. But what I do understand is that neither of those problems that I currently have will ever go away. Going to the gym and lifting a heavier weight will always be a thing, right? There'll always be a heavier weight. Same with there'll always be another fucking financial problem you have to deal with, regardless of how much money you have. You'd just rather have the one at the end of the thing, or towards the end. I mean, there is no end, but the one further down than the one on the other side that you started with, right? You'd rather have the problem of lifting 100 kg than the problem of lifting 20 kg on bench press, right? And that's the good part, is you can't really 100% life. You can't solve life. There's always going to be more, right? It's the same like with a game. I think I said this. If you 100% a game, it doesn't really make it any more fun. It was the completion of the game. It was the working towards the 100%ing of the game that was fun. Once you 100%ed it, it's honestly less fun, if anything, because you've already got everything. There's nothing else left to complete. But that's the thing with life, is you can't really 100% life, right? Not in a practical way, at least. So this information won't at all make your problems go away or anything like that, or any lesser number. But what it will change is your mindset, which might be one problem checked off the list. Because if you were just overwhelmed by the different amount of things and problems that you currently have, you realize that they don't go away. And it might be quite a harsh realization. When this hit me first, I read this in a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. When it first hit me, I was like, this is kind of painful to hear. I heard it and I was like, really, I'm gonna just keep working on problems, keep working on solving these different things for the rest of my life. But you sit on it for a day or two and you realize that's all you really want to do, because you don't really want to live a life where there's nothing to do. If I had everything right now, I would not need to film this right here and tell you about this, but I really enjoy doing this. And what comes with me making these videos is also great, but it's something to do. It's a problem to solve, and I need these because these are what make the life good. It's having something to do. I am nowhere near 100%ing life, and you can't really get to that. And no one's close to 100%ing life, right? Even if you have everything, there's always going to be something you want to do that you haven't done, right? So it changes this whole point of this is to change your mindset about problems. It's not going to get rid of any of them or do anything about them, but it'll change your mindset that problems go from things that limit your life to the things that ultimately make your life. So sit on this for a while, this information that I've given you just now, consider it, and your newfound approach, if it comes, won't be that of a limitation, but it'll be that of progression, of where you can go now from this problem on to the next. You just welcome the next step. That's all I've got to say for today. If you like this content, you know what to do. Anyways, have faith and keep going, my friend.